Okay, welcome. So today we are going to start something about Microsoft Word, how to use it for multiple purposes, specifically for students who have to write their assignments and thesis. So the very first topic I am going to speak about is using shortcuts or the commands which we can use while writing in the Microsoft Word. These commands are specific for Word 2016, but they are more or less similar for earlier versions, as well as for other programs of Microsoft Office like PowerPoint, or some of them can also be used for Microsoft Excel. For Mac users, more or less the commands are similar, but some are different that one can experience with the course of time. So coming to the commands which we have for Microsoft Office Word, we are going to talk about 26 different commands, as there are 26 alphabets in English language. So these alphabets are coupled with the control key of the keyboard, and then each is going to perform a specific function. Besides these 26 commands, there are very few commands which are coupled with the control and shift button, which can be used for some advanced settings. But I'm going to start first of all with the combination of control and any alphabet in combination. So let's start this paragraph, which is I already wrote here, is just as a sample text we may use to this paragraph to apply certain commands. Let's start with the alphabets in its order, like control key with the A key, that is control A. And when you press control and A, it selects everything in that particular file. If this file is one page, all the written material is copied, even inserted pictures, inserted tables, everything is copied. Even if this file contains hundred of pages, everything is going to be selected. Uh, and at the same time, this command is can be harmful if you selected this command and unfortunately you pressed any other key, then everything can be deleted. That can be recovered later on, but only once. However, that is not going to be discussed in this particular topic. So Control A selects everything, select all in a particular file. Control B, if I put it here and press Control B, you can see that the text goes to bold, and pressing the same button keys again, it turns back to normal. Control C, if you have to copy a particular word, then you can press select that particular word, that particular line, that particular paragraph, or anything which you want to like replicate or duplicate. You can simply select that particular item, that particular word, and then you can press the Control C, and then the next is Control V, which is the pasting option. We will talk about it a little bit later. Control D is an option that opens up a window that is meant for font adjustments. You can adjust choose your font style, font size, font color, underlining, non-underlining, underlining color, small caps, all caps, and every all other options are visible here, whichever you want to use to format your document. So that can be done using Control D. Otherwise, if you don't want to use this Control D command, then you have to come to this part of the ribbon where you can see this drop down menu. You can click here, and this font changing or font style option can appear. Then Control E, we can align this text in at least four different ways, like left line to the page, right line to the page, center line to the page, or justify. So in case if you want to align it center, so Control E is a key. You press Control E together. once, it goes to center of the page or center of the row or center of the cell. And if you press it once again, it goes back to its normal position. Control F is meant to find something within your document. So press the Control F and navigation pane opens up. In this navigation pane, you have option to write something like any word, any text, which wherever is there, it is going to be highlighted. After Control F, sometimes what happens, we have a multi-page file and we have to jump between the pages from page number 10 to page number 19, and it can be done either by down, up, down arrow keys or page down, page up option. But there is a direct jumping option. You press the keys Control G. G stands for go, and here you can write the number of page you want to jump. Like I have 3 pages here in this document, I can write here 3 and I will jump to page number 3. If I write page number 1 here and I go back to page number 1 here. Control G is to go to any other page. Control H as an additional feature besides finding. It helps you to find and replace. Like Control H, if when you want to find or replace any text, then you have to press Control H. You have find what, replace with what options here. You can replace a single word or one word which is repeated in the document multiple times, and that has to be replaced. You can go in one detail. Like for scientific reason, I can tell here that most of the people, while writing the scientific thesis, they come up across with the option that they have to insert at all. And when somewhere the at all is written in italic, somewhere it is written normal. And in order to ensure all the at alls are written in italicized, you find at all in the document, you replace it with at all, and while writing here, place your cursor here, press the command Control I. Now the replacement is going to be italic at all. So replacing all, hitting the button replace all, every at all is going to be replaced with the italics. So this option has further more options, but we are going to skip right now. We will talk about them later on. Then comes the italics, when scientific names have to be in italics. Certain genes or certain specific names, species name, they have to be in italics. Pressing Control I button again and again makes it italics or reverts it back to normal. As I said, justification, I go back to this paragraph. If you see the right side of this text is not at the same level, we can simply press Control J and now the paragraph is justified. Once again pressing this, that key is going to take revert back this option to the left aligned. Then comes the insert hyperlink. So sometimes a researcher has to work with multiple files and it becomes hard to keep a track of the file that which file had the particular information. In that case, we can insert the hyperlinks of the files. For that purpose, we can press Control K and a window pop up that has the files available on your desktop. You simply choose the file you want to hyperlink at that particular position and then press OK, and there you goes with your hyperlink. And now if you want to open this file, press the control button, click over here with this hand shape arrowhead down, and you will directly open this particular file. For now I'm going to delete it here. The hyperlinks are quite common if you have to work with multiple files and you have to access them again and again. So the left line, as I mentioned, this is the right line text, and if I want to take it to left side, Control L is for left line. Then comes the margins. If we come to this paragraph, we have to adjust this paragraph as per with reference to the margins of the page. Simply press the Control M button. It will change the margins of the of this particular paragraph. And if you want to decrease these margins, then add shift key along with it, and again press M button. It is going to go back or decrease the margins of the given paragraph. So Control M increases the margin, Control Shift M key decreases the margins. Control N is a key to start with the new file. I'm not going to start with a new file. This is document 3 new file. If you press Control N, it comes up. It shows up new file. And if you have already saved file, you want to open it, Control O, and there is a list. Or you can browse on your computer. Control O. O stands for open. If you have to print these pages, then go for Control P. You can directly go to that print window. Then comes the quit program. Control Q. Quit means if you have multiple files in the same program open, pressing Control Q will quit the program and all the files will be closed. And if there is any unsaved text in those files, there will be a pop-up window asking you whether you want to save your data or not. So you need to make sure that before quitting, you have chosen to save each and every work you already have done with your files. Control R. This is a left aligned text. I'm going to press it. This is right aligned, and now this is left aligned. Control S, key to success, I would say, because students who are working with the assignments or with the thesis, sometimes they ignore pressing the Control S key, and they are not having the auto save option enabled. So the work they have done, because of any issue, battery goes off, or there is some glitch in the software, or there is light fluctuation, any error can lead to closure of the program. So all the changes you made are gone. So it should be a habit of a researcher to keep on pressing Control S quite often while working with the documents in Microsoft Office or Microsoft Word. Then there comes the option of hanging of the paragraphs. If we go back to the paragraph on the top, you can see Control M had increased the margin, and if I press Control T, the first line stays where it was, and all the other lines they are going to hang next, like tab position. And if you want to revert back to the normal position, again the same thing, Control Shift can work back to the original position. Then comes Control U, like you can see here, it underlines the text. Control V is going to paste what you had copied in the last time. If you copied, like before closing this program, you copied a word or text, that can be pasted here. Then Control W is going to close this current file. It is different from quit program because quit will quit the program, it will close the program, it will close all the files of that particular program. But Control W is different, it will close only this particular file which you are right now working with. Control X is going to cut a particular text, a paragraph, a picture, anything, and it will be available for pasting at some other place. And for pasting, we already talked about this command, Control V. Then there are some actions which has to be done, like there is an error in doing something and you want to undo this command. So Control Z is to undo. You can see that cut, I deleted CUT, but I wanted to undo this command, this action. I press Control Z, the word is back. And if I want to redo this command, that Control Y is going to delete it. So Control Y and C, they work antagonistically. Probably I am using the right word, that one is going to do undo function and the other one is going to perform a redo function. These are the commands which we normally use, which we come across while working with Microsoft Office. And very few times you may have to come across with the specific commands Like if you want to look at the word count, then you may go using the Control Shift G. This word count window will appear and it will tell you how many pages, how many words, and how many characters with spaces, without spaces, paragraphs, lines, extra you are having in this particular document. And if you want to hide a particular text, like if I want to hide this text word, or I would say I want to hide completely this text, then there is Command Control Shift H. All the text is hidden. If I want to get it back, I have to do something. Okay, I have to find out that how to get it back. But I right now I did Control Z. So to hide the text, you simply press Control Shift H, and yes, yeah, you can use the same word Control Shift H to get it back. Control Shift H to hide it. Control Shift H to get it back. Then Control Shift I will have the same italic function. Then there is some thing about justification and distribution. J stands for justification, and I told you that you can justify your text across the page. But if you want to distribute the text, like you can see here now, Shift Control J, the words are evenly distributed. The alphabets, sorry, not the words. The alphabets are evenly distributed. If this is only one word line, or if there are multiple words, like I can come on this option and I distribute it by Control Shift J. So this is not going to like this one. This is distributed like this one. So automatically the word is going to pick the spaces required. Then sometimes while writing the paragraphs or while writing the title page, we may have to give some fancy stuff to the font. So there is an option Control Shift K. It will change your text. Every word will have the first alphabet large in size, rest of the alphabets smaller in height, but everything will appear in caps. So you can see here that and with Control Shift K, you can change the caps and small alphabets. If you want to insert bullets, list bullets, Control Shift L is an option to give any bullet-like appearance or bullet formatting to any text or any paragraph. Then M has no function. Yes, M. I told you that it reversed that tabbing functions or the margin function. It will go negative margin function. It decreases margins. Control Shift New, sorry, Control Shift N is going to add after spacing. This is going to be discussed in the layout tab when we will discuss later. But you can see that after this particular text, some space is added. So this is basically adding space after a paragraph, after a line, and that space is standard space is given at 8 points. Then sometimes what happens, we have to write some symbols like alpha, beta, gamma while writing these scientific notions. So for that purpose, we have to go into insert and we have to insert and insert the symbols, and then we have to look for these symbols. Instead of this, so you have directly option that you press Control Shift Q, and now you can write alpha. One sec. Let me write Control Shift Q, alpha, beta, and Control Shift Q again. Sorry, Control Shift Q, beta, Control Shift Q, G for gamma, and so on. By this way, you can directly choose which symbol you want to give, alpha, beta, gamma, and that can be given by using Control Shift Q command, and then that particular alphabet from the keyboard. Here comes the styles option. We will talk about it in our coming lectures. I am going to show you Control Shift S, which style you want to apply. You can choose from here, and Control U goes for underline. Control Shift Tab is for negative tabbing. That means reducing the tab which we might have given. I can show you once again here. So the tab function here is given, and shift control tab is going to reduce it. So these are very few commands which you can practice for your future use. And that's it for today, that how we can use these commands. Some information I would like to talk about this interface, not in detail right now, not in detail. I can go in detail sometime later, but look at the bottom ribbon where you can see the page number 2 or 3 or 415 words, or this book shape and with the cross and then language. Every option is a button. You press double click over here, that window will open, that will give you word count. You press this cross button with the book shape, that tells you that there are spelling errors, and you click over here. If spelling check is complete, that cross is changed into tick. And then English is United Kingdom, click over here, change it to any other language, any United States or any other language. And then on this side there are some layout, read mode, print layout, or the web layout, and how much zoom you can go for it. So this is how we can work using these shortcut keys with the Microsoft Word, and most of them they apply with the other programs of Microsoft Office. Thank you very much for today.